Hi everybody, Gary Olson in the studio, and we're going to be doing another portrait today, and it's this guy. Friend of mine, Glenna O'Connor. This is her daughter's dog, and she wants to surprise her with a portrait of him, and they love this dog. Obviously this dog has a lot of personality, and they sent me a picture of the dog that I thought, well, several pictures. And so I was able to pick out something that I think best captured the character and the fun-loving nature of the dog. This dog looked, hey, let's go outside. I know where the ball is. It's under the evergreen tree. So, first thing I did was I used the artist grid program, and I threw that over the picture after I cropped it and selected the kind of composition I wanted. And now we're going to recreate that grid, which we use to position the eyes and the nose and the fur and all the other things that are part of a dog in the proper perspective and aspect ratio on the canvas. And we paint directly on the canvas with no drawing at all. We paint al fresco, as it's called. And let's get started. Okay, let's get our palette organized first of all. Here's my palette. It's a piece of Chinette picnic wear, which I picked up at the food store, and I got the bright idea to cut a hole in the plate right there, and I can have that at in the crook of my arm and mix all my colors on the fly. Completely portable, completely recyclable, very nice. Now it also comes in other shapes too, like this one here. This is a great palette. Once again, no plastic, all paper, and it fits right into the tray of my palette box that I have on my easel. So, well, let's talk about the colors.
Well, you can see these tubes of paint belong to a working artist. They're in various states of empty, but we have plenty of paint to do this job. On the left is Richardson Oil's Asphaltum. Asphaltum, strange name for brown, but that's what it is. And next to that is Gamblin White, titanium white. I don't know what the significance of the number 1980 is, but that's the brand. Liquitex is a standard favorite in the same category as Grumbacher. And that is the alizarin crimson that I have in the palette. And next to that is gold ochre. That particular paint is a Holbein brand. So you can see I mix brands because you know what? Some shades are just better in some brands. Next to the gold ochre is Payne's Gray. I don't have black in this palette, but I do have black paint if I need it. But Payne's Gray is a great tinting color for darkening shades without ruining the shade. Gamblin Dioxazine Purple is a favorite of mine for developing shadows, and I like the tinting capabilities of that particular paint. The blue is another Richardson color, a real fave. It is called King's Blue. It's just a great color, and I picked it up as a free sample one time, and I fell in love with it. Another Richardson color is Cadmium Red, and I, once again, love the integrity of that red.
Now I don't do any drawing. There's no drawing. We sketch using a brush. My brush is sable, and it has an angle on it. See that? They call that a saber brush, but in any event, they come in various styles and various thicknesses. I have a real love for this because I can do broad strokes and I can do fine details all with the same brush, rinsing in between with fresh turpentine I have alongside the easel. So let's get the eyes and the nose in because that's the most important positioning of everything. That's why I use the grid system. It works good. Works well. All right. Let's go.
As you notice, I'm working on a black canvas. And the reason I do that is because I can build up my whites and lights and colors and shapes much more quickly when I'm working dark to light. And the other issue is time. It takes longer to take a white canvas, block in all of the large black shapes and everything, and then start working mid-tone to light. It's a monumental waste of time, in my opinion, when you can throw a black canvas up and just paint in the lights right away. There are a couple things here that I need to point out. Number one, I'm using the same brush throughout the whole process here, at least up to later when I'm going to need finer brushes to do certain details. But this one brush does pretty much everything. And I rinse it out in between color applications with some Turpenoid, which is a odorless turpentine. I truly believe in it. It's wonderful. And the other thing that I try to do, this type of painting is sculptural. I'm not a sculptor, but I feel like I'm sculpting with paint on a flat surface. And I'm putting colors down, darker colors first, or middle tones first, and then I'm building the lights up, even on top of that, working wet in wet. Every artist has run into muddy colors when working wet into wet. Here's what I do to avoid muddy colors. First, I'm working wet into wet on a black canvas. This way I avoid my darkest colors contaminating my lighter colors. I rinse out my brush in Turpenoid before I recharge my brush with a different color. I use a two-step reservoir process, both filled with Turpenoid. One for initial cleaning of the brush. The second is clear for the rinse portion. I use the silicoil brush cleaning jars that have this patented metal wire coil in the jar that agitates the Turpenoid to get thorough cleaning each time. Secondly, I don't mix my paints on the canvas. I mix them on my palette, then apply my mixed colors to the canvas. This ensures integrity of every color I apply.
Well, I think that's it. And I love the expression on this dog. I talked about that earlier. That's what we were trying to accomplish. This dog looks like it's a real people pleaser. And I think I captured that. It's a fascinating study, I gotta say. Being a dog lover, this is right up my alley, you know. Thanks for joining me on this particular portrait, and I hope you avail yourself of the other portraits I've done of other dogs and various other painting demonstrations I do. It's a lot of fun, especially the feedback we receive. And so keep painting. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.